Hello, good evening to you all. Hope you all guys are doing well. And our today's topic will be based on Indian economy, and it will be a very useful and informational type of topic. So I suggest you all to listen it very carefully. And Indian economy is actually a developing middle income market based economy, and it is sixth largest in terms of nominal GDP and third largest in terms of PPP, purchasing power parity. And if we talk of from the perspective of International Monetary Fund and on the basis of per capita income, then it is 148th. It is at 148th position in terms of nominal GDP and at 128th position in terms of per uh, mm, purchasing power parity. And if we talk about from independence in 1947 to 1991, there was actually a type of economic policy and protectionist type of economic policy, and successive governments followed protective type of economic policies. And in that policy, actually the market was closed, Indian market was closed, and economy was restricted. And the government has control and regulations on different types of economic policies. So, but after the Cold War era, and due to the balance transfer system crisis, after that, this led to the broad economic liberalization of the Indian economy, and this was done in the 1991. And after that, economy of India was very much, we can say, open, and different types of private companies from all over the world, they are allowed to participate in Indian economy. And they could now able to invest in the Indian economy. So we can say Indian economy was opened at that time. And after that, from 2013 to 2018, the Indian economy was growing at the world's first large world's largest growing economy from 2013 to 18. And from 2013 to 18, and there is a reason related to that. We know, since India has a huge population of young people, and there is also possibility that in future there will also be positive economic growth in India, and that is due to the largest young population in India, and also uh, due to the lowest dependency rate of youth in India, and also the healthy investment rates in India. Okay, but we know that after in the time of 2016 and 2017, there are actually two types of things which have happened. The first was the demonetization, and the second was the goods and service tax implementation. And there were bad effects of these two types of policies. And after that, the Indian economy was somewhat restricted, or we can say growth was negative, growth was decreased at the time. And now if we move forward, actually around 70% of India's GDP comes from the domestic consumption, domestic private consumption. And domestic private consumption. And India is also the world's sixth largest consumer market. And other than the consumption market, there is also a large part of GDP come from the government in terms of investment, spending, and the export types of system. So these types were there. And mm, and after that, if we talk about the since we know that in 2020 there are bad effects of the COVID, and due to that, the India became the 14th largest importer in the world, and 21st largest exporter in the world. And if we talk about India is also has been India has India has been a part of the IMF since 1995, and it is 63rd, it is at 63rd position in ease of doing business report, and at 68th position in the in the in the uh, global competitiveness index report. And India has 500 million workers available, and this is the world's second largest in labor force in all around the world. And India is also one of the largest billionaires in the world. And India has also the largest inequality, income inequality in the world. and due to several types of benefits for the people, barely 2% of the people pay the income taxes. Pay the income taxes. And now, if we talk about the largest trading partners, the 10 largest trading partners of India, these are the United States of America, China, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arab, Switzerland, Germany, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Malaysia, and North Korea. So these are the 10 trading partners of the India, and most of the tradings we do with these countries. And these countries are actually very much beneficial for us, because you know that there are also different types of foreign free trade agreements we are now doing with different countries. I will discuss this in later. Okay. So, if we talk about the foreign direct investments like FDI flow in the country, it was around $7.4 billion in the 2018, 2019 to 20 cycle, and the largest we can say contributor of the FDI inflow were the service sector, the computer marketing sector, computer system, and the third is the telecom sector. So these are the third most largest contributor to the FDI inflow in India. And now if we talk about, there are also for free trade agreements with different countries India has, and we know that also there were news in recent times that India actually India made an agreement with the Australia and foreign trade agreement. So these types of foreign trade agreements will be very much beneficial for India and for our business with all around the world. And if we talk about, we have actually FTA with ASEAN. ASEAN means Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and also the SAFTA. SAFTA is South Asia Foreign Trade Agreement, and the Mercosur. Mercosur is a group in the Spanish group, trade Spanish group, and also we have FTAs with the Japan and South Korea. So these are some of the things about the Indian economy. Hope you all understand it well, and will and gain something from these things. So thank you for listening. And if you think that you have gained something from these videos, then don't forget to share, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Thank you. Have a good night.